ultimately, I would like to contribute to change society a little bit, and to the way that we are invested in each other, and recognize better that we can achieve a lot more if we actually cooperate with each other, work with each other, are truly invested in each other, and get that recognized as well. I got into banking really because I decided that after hotel school and helping Yakult to set up in the UK, that I wanted to become a banker, just like all my friends in London were either bankers, consultants, accountants, lawyers. And so I decided to do an MBA, and I realized more and more that I was just a product of my own social environment, where I grew up in. When I was 18, my father offered to buy me a restaurant so I could live out my passion there. And I decided that I didn't want to do that because I wanted to wear a suit, travel the world, make a lot of money, and retire when I'm 30.
Yeah. Wow.
But I think life is about gaining consciousness. And so if you look at the world today, we become a lot quicker conscious of certain things that we for a long time were educated to believe completely different in. I truly think now that we need to turn everything upside down in order to discover what is the real truth. If there is a real truth. My son, he's 11 years old, and 3 days ago, and he's been sticking to it the last few days, he all of a sudden said, I'm vegetarian. And I asked him why, and it was the level of consciousness that he had gained from a little YouTube video from a young girl who was 3 years old, who simply said, I don't want to eat animals. And and he's been passionate about it the last 3 days. We'll see where it ends up. But to me, that's gaining consciousness, and that is equally what I'm very much about, is trying to get people to become more conscious of how certain things in our society operate right now, how certain ecosystems have been built by people, and how we can actually change them tomorrow if we all understand them well enough, because we won't accept them if we understand them. I think like every level of consciousness needs to be a process, and it was the cocoon life that I had been living for 15 years or all my life really, that had made me realize. And then obviously the crisis of 2008 has woken up many different people from many different realms of society and levels of intelligence. And in my case, it was actually the fact that I took a mortgage that made me realize how imprisoned I had become once the equity of that mortgage became negative. And I really felt that didn't give me the liberation and freedom anymore that I always thought I had. And then later on I came to learn, I think like it has been for many people, the documentary of Zeitgeist that made a big impact. That opened my eyes to some extent, that I came to realize that I hadn't borrowed money from other people. I had borrowed money from one press of a button. And the idea of that. We are a founding member of Cooperative Good Finance, a very different type of cooperative than the one that I talked about from cooperatives that go on Eyevestor. In this case, it's really about good finance initiatives, or initiatives that want to change, that recognize this financial system, that want to change things in the culture and the way that we operate towards each other. In different ways. So there's an insurance platform on it, Common Easy. There's Heroes and Friends who facilitate crowdsourcing through their platform. There are different parties on there that are members of that, and it came into existence initially because we thought we were brave enough to say we want to start a new bank and do it all different. But in fact, in order to gain a banking license, there are so many rules and regulations that come with it that you end up having to behave exactly the same as even the best of those banks do, like the Triodoses and the ASNs of this world.